Britain raising taxes, the Boston Massacre, and the Stamp Act increased tensions between Britain and the colonies. That led to the Revolutionary War. Under huge pressure to curb spending, the British king and government believed that any further attempts to tax the homeland would fail. They seized upon other sources of income, one of which was taxing the American colonists in order to pay for the army protecting them. British officials tried to arrest smugglers.
You're under arrest.
And the British naval had to check the ships for smuggled goods. Parliament also changed the colony's legal system by giving powers to the vice-admiralty courts. Courts had no juries, and the judges treated smugglers guilty until proven innocent. Many Bostonians viewed the presence of the British troops in Boston as a threat. The troops and the colonists resented each other and arguments were daily. However, on March 5, 1770, things took a turn. During an argument, a lone British soldier struck a colonist. A crowd gathered, throwing snowballs and rocks and shouting insults at any soldiers they saw. Soon, troops gathered. The crowd was just getting worse, antagonizing the troops by yelling, "Fire if you dare." Suddenly, shots rang out. The soldiers killed 3 people immediately and 2 later died in the hospital. Word of the Boston Massacre quickly spread through the colonies, leading to more people resenting the British. The Stamp Act of 1765 was the first tax put directly on American colonists by the British Parliament. The act, which imposed a tax on all paper documents in the colonies, came at a time when the British Empire was deep in debt from the 7 Years' War and looking to its North American colonies as a revenue source, arguing that only their own representatives could tax them. The colonists believed that the act was unconstitutional, and they resorted to violence to make stamp collectors resign. They repealed it in 1766, but issued a declaratory act at the same time to reaffirm its authority to pass any colonial legislation it saw fit. Then, they passed more taxes. The colonists were very angry because with the raising of taxes comes less food and less necessities. They were furious that they were paying more taxes because of a war that they had no role in starting. And also, that country is about 3,000 miles away, on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, is controlling them. They had no say in their rules and no elected government officials. After the Boston Massacre, things only went downhill. There were more riots, more violence, and more overall resentment towards the British.